I didn't design a new pattern. I just combined two existing patterns and I am thoroughly obsessed. Honestly, I can't wait to show you exactly what I did to make this little amazing thing so that you can do it too. Absolutely love how Octavia, yes, that is her name, Octavia, turned out. So let me walk you through real quick exactly what I did. Now, I've talked a lot about combining patterns and making them your own without actually having to design anything. This is a prime example of what I've been talking about. Now, the two patterns that I used are, see, even my camera's excited. Is the floppy cat from Frizzy Bee and the unicorn from Tommy's Sheep Crochet and Knitting. And I added a couple of little touches as well. So the main thing that you'll notice is, as far as the floppy cat, I added many more legs. You know, we gotta go big or go home. Another thing that I did was change the yarn and the hook size. Both of these patterns are used with the super bulky and a 7 or a larger hook. I used a number 4 worsted weight. It was actually Bernat Super Saver, and for this main part with a 3.5 millimeter hook. Now this color is Bernat. This is Premier Basics yarn. And then this little thing is, what is that? Premier Butterfly, I believe. It's thinner. This one is a 3 weight. Still used a 3.5 millimeter hook all the way through. But yeah, I also changed some of the details on the face. Although I was going by Frizzy Bee's explanation on how to do the face. I did the nose the way that she did. I did the mouth, even though it doesn't seem like it. I did the mouth the way that she did. I'm a crocheter, not an embroiderer. It is not my strong suit. But I did change the way that I did the whiskers. Her whiskers are out more and it looks really good on the floppy cat. But I wanted to show you how something as minor, something as little as changing the details can make such a massive, massive difference. So I'm going to hold him right up here. I'm going to show each thing side by side. So with the floppy cat, what I did was use the head, the ears. I did not use the ear inserts, as you'll see here. And I also added more legs. In order to get all of these legs to fit, I also created a middle piece right here that I used to sew the legs onto and then sew the whole piece onto the head because I didn't want it to bunch up. So when you're combining patterns, those are little things that you need to keep in mind. The good thing is I didn't have to do math. I just had to follow the patterns. The fact that both patterns were using a super bulky yarn and I was using a medium worsted weight yarn, that gave me a lot of play as far as I already knew the pattern was going to be much smaller. That one change alone made a huge difference. I mean, look at the size difference. Pretty big, huge difference. Now the hair I used from the unicorn pattern because I wanted it to be something really, really pretty. I just added lots of different colors, but the horn was mine. I also did the horn because I didn't like how big the horn was on the unicorn. I thought about using the horn from my rhino, but again, it didn't fit because I used the worsted weight for the rhino. Hold on, let me bring him back up here. Because I used the worsted weight for the rhino, the horn would have been, even if I used this one, it would have been too large for this project. So keep that in mind as well. When you are combining patterns, it's important to keep in mind the size and the scale. Although, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I would have made the horn bigger. Not as big as that, but bigger than this, because I think it kind of gets lost with all of the hair. Unfortunately, I did the horn before I did the hair. Next time, I know better. Anyway, you can also add little details like I wanted to and could have very easily did little circles for the tentacle things for the octopus. I just haven't done that yet. So ultimately, the most important things, I'm going to walk you through step by step, everything that you should do in order to make a project completely yours. The first thing is have an idea of what you want. If you have, like I wanted to do Octo Unikitty, an octopus, kitty, and unicorn all in one. Thank you, Amber, one of my amazing members. Thank you for this idea because it has been so fun to do. Your yarn and hook size is going to make a huge difference in how the pattern turns out. If you use a larger yarn, this The original patterns called for a super bulky weight. So if you went up, it would be even bigger. I went down, so it's smaller. Use a hook size that is comparable to the yarn that you want to use. That's a massive way to make a huge change, because if you make something bigger or smaller, it changes the whole look of the thing. Details really do change the look. They change the vibe. They change the whole personality of that project. As you can see here, you've got the floppy cat and you've got the Uni-Octo Kitty. Pay attention to the whiskers, to the face, the eyes, the way the eyes are, the mouth. There is a massive difference. You can tell they're similar, but there is a difference in the feel and the vibe of the project itself. So keep that in mind as well. When you're looking for patterns to combine, make sure that the patterns that you use are similar, meaning they use the same hook size, the same yarn, and also the way that the construction is going. So for instance, the floppy cat worked from the top down. The unicorn, I wasn't really too worried about it because the parts that I wanted from the unicorn were sewn on after the fact. But if I were to use different legs, they would need to be very similar in construction. Use one pattern, even though you're combining more, use only one pattern for the actual base. This is going to be the place that you start from. I use the floppy cat as my base. Most of the pattern comes from the floppy cat. I did change details, I did add extra legs, and then I added parts from the other pattern as well, along with my own little details, but that's okay because I'm a little bit weird at times. But the most important thing is that the project needs to speak to you. You need to allow your creativity and your imagination to just roam. I think of creativity and imagination as, y'all, I think my camera's digging this subject. I think that creativity and imagination, they're like twins, inseparable twins. They go hand in hand. Everywhere one is, the other one follows. So allow creativity and imagination to just play. As children, we think up all kinds of things and we don't worry about whether it's good or not. We just want to have fun. Our creativity, our imagination are able to just go. Even though we're adults, we still need to be able to allow creativity and imagination to roam, to play, to have fun, to be free. So that, honestly, that's the biggest thing. This whole project was so that my imagination and my creativity could roam free. But it wasn't just my imagination that came into play here. Amber is the one that came up with the whole Octo Unikitty. I never would have thought of that. So her imagination for an octopus unicorn kitty is what started this whole pattern in the first place. Then it was the creativity of the designers. Frizzy Bee made that floppy cat, and oh my goodness, I'm going to link in the description everything that I used today. All of those videos are going to be in the description of this video, so go check them out. The floppy cat videos were live streams that Frizzy Bee did, and can I tell you, I had fun hanging out with her, and I wasn't even live. Anyway, go check those videos out. As a final thought, just give the designers some acknowledgement. If you're making something like this, it is not to sell. These kind of projects are for personal use only. If you want to make these and sell the physical products at markets or online, there's nothing wrong with that. Sell the physical products, but don't sell the pattern because, baby, you didn't make that pattern. They made the pattern. You just kind of smushed them all together. So let your creativity run, but, do it right. Let go. Have fun. Y'all, if you have any other crochet remix ideas for me, please drop them in the description. Let's see if we can come up with some more. I am down for that. I had so much fun combining these patterns. I had so much fun creating this project because, oh my gosh, how freaking cute is she? Really? How cute is she? Y'all have an amazing week. Bye now.